It's really weird. Like, back in high school, I used to structure my weeks around the TV I'd watch. Like, oh, I've got this homework tonight. I've got these shows on at like between 7:30 to 9. I've got to make sure I get my homework done before then. Or, oh, maybe I could do my homework afterwards, but maybe I'd like to play video games after that and whatever. So, yeah, but I haven't had to do that for. So obviously, I don't do homework anymore, but like, I don't do any of that kind of shit anymore until recently. I think this year is like the first year in a long time that I've actually been like, yeah, I need to structure my weeks now. Now, of course, I still have work during the days. Sometimes I have a day off or whatever. Like, personally, I usually have Thursday, Friday off. That's usually my weekend because then I film on the actual weekends. But then it's like TV now has come back into my life in a big way. Like I've as of last year, I started binging a bunch of different TV shows like Buffy and Sopranos and such. And this year, though I haven't really done as much outside of at the very start of the year, I've been watching a lot of shows that air weekly. So my weeks as of like 2 months ago was basically like Barry on Monday nights. I'd have Better Call Saul on Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights was Gruen, which is a TV show in Australia where they like talk about advertising. It's kind of a comedy. I like it. It's really informative. It's a panel show. And Thursday's usually nothing. There have been the Disney Plus shows like the Marvel stuff and Obi-Wan and whatever the crap, which has just become out of obligation to watch it rather than out of, yeah, it's Wednesday night, time to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, it was just obligation. But Friday nights then became For All Mankind. So as the weeks have developed, I've gone from, Obi-Wan to Miss Marvel. Monday nights have become Barry, and now they're Evil, because Evil is a fantastic show, and I highly suggest watching it. Monday nights is not Evil anymore. It comes out Sunday on the US, which is basically Monday in Australia, technically midday. Goes straight to Paramount Plus, so realistically I should be able to watch it immediately. But for some reason, every goddamn week it gets delayed by like 2 days. So I'm basically watching it when I could be watching it Tuesday night after Better Call Saul, or even before Better Call Saul. I watch it Wednesdays now, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. But yeah, Tuesday nights, still Better Call Saul. There was a 6-week break there. I'm filming this before the finale. The finale comes out next week. Today's like the penultimate episode, and I'm so fucking excited. But I watched that with Mum. So like we will wait till 6 o'clock because we watched it on Stan, which by then it's already come out everywhere. You could basically pirate it and get a better quality version of it, but I don't mind. I've been watching it on Stan for all these years, and then I watched the Blu-ray afterwards. So I have no real grievances with it. And Mum and I will watch it, and then we'll have dinner afterwards. We're like, fuck the rest of the family. Better Call Saul's important. I jokingly said this morning to her, I was like, oh, well, you got to make sure that you're not working next week past 7 o'clock because the finale of Better Call Saul. And she's like, oh shit, well I am. So Mum is actually working when the finale comes out. So we've basically planned that I'll watch it by myself, and then I'll probably watch it with her because I know she really wants to watch it. We always watch it together, and I know it's a tradition. I could just wait, but I mean, look, I had the flu during like the second last episode of season 6, part A, basically, and I was not in a great mental shape, but I was able to power through and watch that episode, and it was fantastic. But yeah, and I've also been rewatching the whole entire show this year, so there's a bunch of characters and storylines that I remember happening because I've rewatched it all this year, whereas she hasn't. That's been like my big show this year, rewatching Better Call Saul. Might rewatch Breaking Bad again, but I don't know. I want to, but I want to finish Soul first. But yeah, Better Call Saul, so goddamn exciting to look forward to it. I can't go on Twitter basically all of Tuesday, which I'm fine with. I don't have videos coming out on Tuesdays anymore, so my videos come out Monday. Makes it easy to post on Twitter about it. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've got the rest of the week, so there's no biggie there. I don't get spoiled on many shows anymore. Like my mate Guy, him and I watch the same shows, so almost the same shows. So he's the one who told me that he introduced me to Evil. He's like, you gotta watch Evil, great show. So I got Paramount Plus, binged it all in a week, fantastic show. But even on that service at the time, I was able to watch Yellow Jackets, which was great. That was between the second last episode and the last episode of the season. So the last episode came out on my last day of having the free trial, so I watched that and then cancelled. I also watched the new Dexter. It was okay. Better than a lot of the show, but not better than the best of the show. Yellow Jackets, on the other hand, fantastic show, definitely worth watching. Evil, also really good. It wasn't on Paramount Plus. It was on Stan. I'm pretty sure for a long time. I think it's still like the first two seasons are on Stan, but season 3 is like weekly going to Paramount Plus. And I think I have a theory that it might go to Stan after the season is aired. So like the whole season will now be on Stan kind of deal, but I doubt it. I don't really mind because I waited the first 6 weeks of the first half of the season to come out, and then I got Paramount Plus courtesy of Amazon, and just binge it within 2 days, and then now I'm watching it weekly, so it's great. I love it. It's got one of my favorite opening credit sequences for a show, and yeah, then Wednesday has been. Yes, there's the Marvel shows. You had Miss Marvel, which I liked the first 2 episodes a lot. Didn't like the third or fourth episode. Fifth and sixth were okay. I think the show struggled from like the fact that they were releasing it at the same time as Obi-Wan, which was, hugely more successful in terms of everyone talking about it and tweeting about it and everything. And I thought the show was kind of lame. It was fine, but I don't care for Star Wars that much anymore, so it is a bit boring to me personally. Then Wednesday nights became, you had Gruen come back. They had 2 episodes for the Australian election, which was great. They talked for 2 weeks straight about the advertising campaigns for both the Liberal Party, the Labor Party, and all the other parties. But then the rest of the show, a few weeks later, came back, because the parliamentary one was like a special, election special. But then it came back to its normal show, and unfortunately it's done now, which really sucks, because I love it. I really love Gruen, but they don't have enough episodes, which really fucking sucks. But yeah, I can like stream it through like ABC iView, which I usually do. My TV doesn't have like an antenna anymore, so I mean it does, but I don't have it connected to anything. So I will just go on iView and just stream ABC TV as it airs, basically, or I'll give it an hour after it's aired and go and watch it. But that was followed up as of like 2 weeks ago. Right at the end of the episode, the first episode of Sean McAuliffe's Mad as Hell would come in. That was like this is the final. It's not the final season, but it's McAuliffe's final season. So I didn't watch the second episode. I think because there's no Gruen beforehand, I'm not as interested to watch it half the time, because I do like McAuliffe's Mad as Hell. I like the way they design the show and the comedy and stuff, but politics has just gotten so tiresome for me of recent. I say of recent, I mean like the past 3 to 4 years. So I haven't actually watched. I didn't watch most of last season of McAuliffe's Mad as Hell. I want to watch this season because it's his final. So, and it's not really a show I can kind of just jump into at random parts, I think, because so much of it is based on the weekly elements of the news, whereas something like Gruen, you could watch whatever episodes, because unless there's like something really big in advertising to talk about, most of the time you can watch it whenever and it will sit wherever. So I've always enjoyed Gruen for that reason. Or enjoyed it more, at least. I think the comedy is a bit more awkward in Gruen, unless there's something like naturally that comes out of their actual analysing of the ads. A lot of their scripted comedy isn't fantastic, but it is what it is. It's usually satirical, or like, hey, let's throw like a bunch of like jokes at you at the start of the show, like it's a fucking like late show or whatever the crap. But it is what it is, and that's like my Wednesday nights. So now it's just McAuliffe, which I've been basically avoiding. I'll get around to it eventually. I usually just binge episode after episode just to get it over and done with. But that was a teenage classic for me. I loved watching it. Me and my mates would watch it. It was always great. Made us think we were smarter than a lot of people, because we were watching not just political stuff, but political satire, which is like the next step. And in Australia, that's like actually really common. So, it is what it is. Thursday, nothing happens on a Thursday. I think She-Hulk is meant to come out on Thursday nights now, but that might be Thursday in the US, so it might still be Friday in Australia. I don't really care. I'm tired of Marvel and well, not really DC, but just Marvel and Disney, Star Wars, all that bullshit. I'm really tired of that kind of content. I don't pay for Disney Plus, so I don't mind watching it. And if I like it, then that's great. But most of the time, I've just been forcing myself to watch these fucking shows. But I don't care to watch the movies anymore, so I'm really tired of that as a brand. So there you go. I was interested in She-Hulk, and then it's like, hey, look, Wong comes in the trailer, and it's like, hey, guess what? Multiverse. Look at all this. Look at this bigger universe. Oh, by the way, Daredevil's here, and I'm like, I don't fuck this shit. I'm fucking tired of this shit. So I'm not very excited for it, but it could be good. Like, I didn't care for people saying that the character looked like a PS2 character. It's like, yeah, well, under that level of compression, that's why I like Corridor Crew. They actually went into it and were like, well, if you look at the trailer on Disney Plus and the trailer on YouTube, and you realize there's so much compression in YouTube, like, that's why I should like get other websites like that. That one that Patrick H. Willems puts his video essays on early. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like one of those things where you need like a US subscription for it, and that's really tiresome. That's why I haven't watched his Night of the Coconut yet, because I just can't be bothered getting a streaming service. I can't remember what the streaming service is called, but it doesn't matter. But Friday nights is where it's at, and it's not even Friday night. It can be. It's like 10 a.m. on a Friday. So if I got Friday off and I'm not hanging out with my girlfriend or anything, or I've got an hour to kill, you know what I'm fucking doing. The best times for me to watch For All Mankind, which I just grab out my laptop now because I have 3 months for free. Thank you, fucking Apple. Even though I still pay for the first month to be able to watch the start of the season. But then I'll be able to watch Severance and stuff after it and whatever. But that's got like 2 episodes left of the show. I think it's like the same like timetable as Better Call Saul, and I think maybe Evil has the same kind of timetable. All the finales are like in the same week, which is going to be fucking insane. So that's going to be really, really fun. But For All Mankind, I like watching that at nighttime, mostly because the room is in basically pitch black. I don't have a TV that has like Dolby Vision or anything, or OLED, which sucks because that's the perfect show for it. Like, I envy Guy because when he got a TV, like for their family room basically, his mum was like, just buy the best TV, I don't care how much it costs. And he spent like $3,000 on the TV that had OLED, Dolby Vision, all this shit. And it's like, yeah, it's like one of the best TVs on the fucking market. And I am saving up to buy one myself. But until that day, and my TV doesn't play Apple TV Plus, so that's why I connect it to my Mac, but I connect the 4K cable because the little, dock I have that, is a portable thing for the Macintosh, the laptop, it has a 4K port. I think it's at 60 FPS or 60 Hertz or whatever the crap, the better type of them. But yeah, I just stream it through the laptop straight onto the TV, and it works like a charm. My old laptop would, because it was an odd size thing, it was like 1378 by like 700 and something. It didn't perfectly fit the screen, so it was like a bit bigger, but the Mac will just like set itself up properly. You plug in, the whole entire screen will be like, okay, we're formatted now because you're on a TV. We've calibrated the size, we know what you're at, and it's fantastic. So chucking on For All Mankind through Apple TV Plus. Oh, beautiful. Streams in 4K, looks amazing. Could look better, of course, because I could have a better TV and play it straight from the fucking TV. But if they ever release that show straight to 4K UHD, I'd buy it, but that would be the same thing as a series of unfortunate events, which they still haven't released in physical at all because they filmed it on 4K, and I'd love for them to release it on a 4K Blu-ray. I would buy that. Same for All Mankind, which I fucking highly suggest watching. I basically suggest watching all these shows, maybe except for the Australian stuff if you're not into either just Australian humour or politics. It's still funny, but also the advertising show Gruen I really like. But yeah, it's just insane now. Suddenly my weeks are structured around watching TV shows, making sure I'm there to watch these TV shows. And it's a wonderful experience. It's so fucking nice. Because it's like, I'm not disappointed by any day of the week, even Thursday when there's nothing to do. Even technically Mondays. It's like, well, Monday I get home from work and I've got videos being uploaded, so I need to focus on that. I can watch the YouTube for the day. There won't be too much because it's usually Sunday in the US still. So I usually have a Monday night to myself. Tuesday is maybe Evil, but definitely Better Call Saul. Wednesday, I've at least got Evil and something on the ABC. Uh, Thursday, I can just chill the fuck out. And Friday, I've got For All Mankind, and I can watch that whenever. My only concern is the fact that Guy will watch these shows before me, because he usually has Fridays off, and he can, download Better Call Saul before it comes out. So he's more than likely messaged me about it already. I have to mute him for like 6 hours before I can watch whatever I'm watching. And with Evil, that's the only one he doesn't talk about. We will talk about it after we've both watched it. But then he really tried to get me to watch the new season as it came out, to the point of saying, "Oh, this fucking episode is so great. This is the twist." And I'm like, that sounds great, but why would you ruin it for me? He does that, but it's fine. It ended up convincing me to get the goddamn Paramount Plus, because I'm like, fuck it, why not? It's definitely worth it. It's annoying having all these different streaming services, but I don't pay for Stan, I don't pay for Netflix, I don't pay for Disney Plus, so I don't personally mind. Stan and Netflix are family. They pay for that. I mean, iView is free. I basically pay for the internet, but I don't actually pay for the internet. Again, my parents do that, so that's a benefit for me. The only streaming service I pay for is Amazon Prime and Apple TV Plus, and currently Paramount Plus until Evil ends. And when Evil ends, I will be cancelling that, because I don't need to pay the $7 a month, $8 a month if I don't need to. I think it's $7 for Amazon Prime, which I don't even really use for streaming. I don't really use it for many TV shows. I used to use it a lot for streaming with friends. We'd connect together on Discord, but we don't do that anymore, which I'm fine with. It was a lot of weeks of doing that, but most of us have got Saturday morning jobs or Friday jobs or uni, so we don't have the time for it anymore. So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't use Amazon Prime for any TV shows, which sucks, because I should be watching The Boys, but I don't watch The Boys. I didn't mind the first season. I never watched the second season. I haven't seen the third season. And so many people are like, "What the fuck, watch The Boys?" Like, my brothers are like, "Dude, you gotta watch The Boys." And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. It's like Stranger Things, but I actually, I kind of would much prefer to watch The Boys over Stranger Things. I forced myself into watching actually, I've always forced myself into Stranger Things. First season I only watched because people were talking about it in my last year of high school, and everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta watch Stranger Things, it's great." Everyone was talking, but they were trying to convince my teacher, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder what the Stranger Things is." So I checked it out, and I binged it, and I'm like, "Hey, that was pretty good." And then I watched the second season, I just forced myself to watch it, and I didn't care for it. And I forced myself to watch the third season, and I always forced myself into watching them after they were popular. Usually the better way for me. But now this latest season comes out, and I'm like, I don't give a shit that there's this guy who wears a wig. Obviously it's a wig in real life, but not on the show. And he became a meme or something, and there's pop vinyls about the character, and they're dead. And I'm like, but it's like, I think their name's Eddie Munson. I thought they were talking about Eddie Munster. I thought they were talking about the fucking Munsters. They're talking about this guy from a goddamn TV show that I don't fucking care about. God, that shows how outdated I am. But yeah, I haven't watched season 4 of Stranger Things. I don't care to. It's one of those things that, people will tell me to watch these shows, and I'll be like, why? There are better shows. Why would I fucking force myself into Stranger Things when I could rewatch Sopranos? I'm watching The Munsters temporarily right now, off and on. Not really that much. It's a sitcom. It's not really something I can force myself into watching, but if I'm really tired, I'll just binge it. That, I'm watching Family Guy, because it's on Disney Plus, which is great. I gotta watch Bob's Burgers as well. But yeah, I've got a bunch of different TV shows to watch. I've got all of Deep Space Nine, which I know Paramount Plus has all of Star Trek, and I should probably watch it all on that, but none of them are HD remasters, except for I think the original series and Next Gen, but I don't really care to watch the original series. I don't really care to rewatch Next Gen anytime soon, even though it's a pretty damn good show. I gotta watch Deep Space Nine. That's the one I really, really want to watch, because I watched the first 2 seasons, or first season, and I didn't like it that much. And that was a long time ago, back in high school. So, yeah, look, it is what it is in the end. But yeah, the point is that it's just kind of cool that it's not exactly like TV's making a comeback, but it's like this opposition to binge culture, Sure, I binged the first half of this latest season of Evil, but that's because it was coming out weekly, and I didn't want to have to pay to watch it weekly, or pay each month to watch it. Oh, I'm gonna spend $18 on a show. It's like, look, I know there's no DVDs or anything for it. If I want to rewatch it, I have to buy that, get a subscription to that show, that fucking program again, which arguably is worth it in the end, because the show is so goddamn good, and there's always something that's amazing on it. I think Noah had Binge for a while. That's what I watched. I watched 6 Feet Under. I watched that this year. That was pretty good. I binge watched that in like 3 weeks. Really depressing, but really good show. And I still have weird dreams about that show, especially those last couple episodes. So anyway, yeah. So if anything, go watch For All Mankind and Evil and Better Call Saul, which you should already be watching. Even if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, just watch Better Call Saul. You can watch Breaking Bad after. Or just watch both. Fuck it, why not? It's so goddamn good. But yeah. And watch, there's so many good TV shows. I'm gonna watch like shit like The Wire and stuff, but I don't know. Sopranos was so good. It's like, do I really want to watch The Wire? I probably should. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Check out TV. It's good stuff. When it's not all shoved on the one platform at one time to binge. Instead, you can just enjoy it over a period of weeks, like it was designed to do. God, I miss those days. I'm kidding. That's what I'm living through right now. It's great. I love it. Goodbye.